Living an American Dream. I thought this was really intriguing and really interesting. I loved that they started off kind of asking everybody what the American dream meant to them and, kind of tried to define it in some way, and then spent time showing that their kind of life story was a version of the American dream that doesn't get told or that gets portrayed in a certain way. And they were intentionally trying to kind of peel back the layers a little bit and reveal some truth that they felt was not being shown in media. And I feel like when people think about the American dream, there's a few kind of classic things that they can think about. I think immigrating to America is a big one. I feel like just because of how rich the visual is of like ranchers settling the West, and the idea of a cowboy is so kind of, I think, for a lot of people, like coded in America and coded in the American dream. So I think that they have a unique opportunity to show that, like, while they had these kind of classic or maybe even cliche things that were a part of their life experience, that doesn't necessarily equate to what everybody assumes or thinks that the American dream would be for them. That the moving to a small town, being adopted from another nation with another ethnicity, and then growing up on a ranch, becoming a rancher and working, being a part of the rodeo. I feel like people, like they were saying a lot of, like, in media, in books, like it all gets portrayed in one specific way, or most dominantly gets portrayed in one way, and they did a really good job of showing that, like, and explaining why, like with logical sense, that is not necessarily true. And I thought that it was just really great to kind of hear them and see their story, and again having it at the end kind of loop back to the American dream again at the end, I thought was really great and really kind of brought things full circle.
Living an American Dream is a documentary short film that really showcases a story of the American experience. We have a couple who ends up in a situation where they have found themselves growing a family and adopting 6 kids from Haiti, and within that they get to build a family. And one of the kids even says it in the film that blood might make you related, but loyalty is what makes you family. I think that's something that stands out. And despite all of these people not being related by blood by any means, they're still able to have this strong, fierce connection of their chosen family. So much so that they've never really went into denial of their family dynamics. They have been so loved and rooted in this really appreciative moment between all of the family members, included in these dynamics. We get to hear different pieces from different family members, different perspectives, which really gives us a really nice fluid storytelling experience. We get to see them and their relationship with the rodeo and the farm, and it's sort of kind of following into these sense of creating these family traditions, these rituals that take place. They see rodeo as this dynamic, this something that has come from the roots of where we come from, and being able to have this experience of bucking off, like falling off your bull and getting right back up. These little tiny dynamics of story of these lessons that we learn in life. And despite, not necessarily having this quote unquote normalized way of coming together and having your family, come into fruition, you get to see this family take life by the horns almost, and really find this loving, bonding experience between them, whether it be, about their family, about their faith, and about being on the ranch and the rodeo. And it really shows the dynamics because it's even vocalized in the short film itself. Like, we have to take care of our animals. If we don't take care of our animals, that's less amount of money that we get at the end of the year on the paycheck of like supplying. We can't make a profit if we don't come in it with care, which I think is a really profound philosophical viewpoint that we often need to be reminded of, especially when it comes to the American dream. This idea of the American dream is being challenged in today's climate, and we need to be reminded that the idea of the American dream exists so that other people can come in and have a mixture of cultures come together and love each other and be, the sense of equality that we always yearn for. We get to see little sparkles of that energy in this piece.
This is such an uplifting documentary. I absolutely love this family. They seem like they're such a close-knit family. They seem to really love each other. They love their community. The way they talk about each other, it's just so respectful, so reverent. They love each other so much, and you can tell that they love the life they have. This ranching family where they're so close to each other. The rodeo life, they love it all. You can tell that their parents did a great job raising these kids. It's rare that families have this type of bond with each other. A lot of kids, when they grow up, they move away from their families and they don't see them very often. So to have this type of bond, it's so rare and so refreshing. And I really do think that's the real American dream, is for families to stay that close together like this family. That it's such this family really is. They're just so amazing. And I think that's what really makes this film uplifting. They really do get into the nitty-gritty of rodeo, but it's the family dynamic that really made this film outstanding.